Well, after driving into lunch today with no problems, came back, went out to go start it up again. Starts running like shit immediately as soon as I started it. And after tearing it apart, it's got a broken rocker arm. So, because of that, the valve, or the seat, came unhooked from the springs. The keepers were sitting inside the valve cover. There's the end of the broken rocker arm. So basically, the rocker arm is a Chinese knockoff of an LS3 rocker arm. Not a good part. Clearly not very big, not very strong. Snapped off, valve dropped, smashed into the piston. So now we got to pull the cylinder head back off. And yeah, our deadlines all just got fucked.
I just got the video. Oh, y'all got to be wondering how the fuck I'm doing this in a time machine right now. Like, wait, isn't that in Ohio? What the fuck? I have a loaner time machine. Long story, but I've made some good friends and treated people well, and we're treating each other well, and we're helping each other out. And I'm on a gig right now, and I got that fucking. Fuck. It shouldn't happen. That's what I'm so frustrated about, is that we did everything right, and it looks like we got fucked with a part that was not what they sold us, and god damn it, I mean, we did all this right. We were actually even a little ahead of schedule, had all the time. He was slow. He didn't even have the car up to 4,000 RPM. We just did everything. I did everything exactly the way you're supposed to fucking do it. And fuck. So a completely wasted trip to Ohio, flying my entire family out, Mayor Goldie Wilson. Fuck. Fuckity fuck.
When the rocker arm broke, the ends of it, the little part that like snapped off, it grabbed the valve spring retainer and pushed it down, at which point the keepers came out, and then the whole assembly came undone, and the valve dropped down, the piston hit it, and it bent the shit out of it and jammed it into the valve guide.
Okay, everything you said sounds fucking awful. But I don't actually know what the fuck that means.
All right.
First of all, wait, rewind real quick. I haven't seen, you said you were shooting video, you were driving, everything was fine.
Right.
We're just out driving around in the time machine.
So fast, and then you bring it down, and you just.
The rev limiter is set at $5,000 right now, so like even if I try to drive it hard, it just hits limiter.
Right.
But yeah, so we're just cruising down. I mean, it ran great, fired right up, no problems, blah blah blah. And come back from lunch, we got Chipotle for everybody. It was delicious, and parked it, go into the shop, do my day, and then I was gonna bring it home tonight. I went out there, fired it up, and go to put it in reverse, and I heard it. Like, I heard a snap, and then it started missing and backfiring through the intake, and the whole car was shaking. It ran horrible. So I got it into the garage, like, as fast as I could. I was, like, right there by the door.
Let's try not to use any company names right now.
Yeah.
Because that probably isn't a good idea. But we have the rocker arm guys, and we have the valve guys, and the guide. Are those who fucked up here? What am I missing here? There's no way this should have happened.
So we bought heads, and the heads came with the valves, the guides, the springs, retainers, all that.
By the way, we bought really high performance heads that were an extra $3,000, so it'd be awesome. Just throwing that out there. That was the extra 100 horsepower. Okay, go ahead.
And they don't come with rocker arms. but that company told me that the factory rocker arms would be okay.
Okay.
So you and I order a set of factory rocker arms from a company. LS3 scan steel rocker arms. And then we also got the upgraded trunnion bearings, which is the bearing in the rocker to let it rock back and forth on. We got the upgraded bearings.
Spared no expense. Got it.
Yeah, for the special, because we got the difference is the valve springs in your cylinder heads are very strong versus the factory ones. One of two things has happened here. Either one, head company product failed, and the valve seat or the valve guide was going bad and locked the valve up, causing the pressure from the rocker arm just to snap it because the valve didn't move anymore. Or more likely, most likely, Company B sold us rocker arms that are not what they say they were, and
so we're not just replacing the one or the two. We got to replace everything. 8.
Yeah. 16. There's 2 per cylinder.
Of course there fucking is. Okay. So what's for? I mean, time, man hours. Do you need me to come out early? Do you need money? What the fuck happens here? Because
right now the man hours, it should only take me 5 or 6 hours to get the motor apart and get the head over to the machine shop for repair. What's going to suck is waiting for the machine shop. I mean, the guy, Mike Rush over at M&M Head, he's the best there is when it comes to cylinder heads. He's a really good friend of mine, helps me out all the time. So I know that he'll drop stuff to help me and get it done as fast as he can, but that still could be a 2 to 5 day turnaround, assuming he has the parts. And that's where the head company comes in, and they're like, we use custom valve guides. So if they have any made, I will find out in the morning, and they'll be overnighted, and that'll be fine. If they don't have any made, I have to figure out if it's going to be faster to wait for them to make them, or if I have my cylinder head guy make them.
Yeah, you can just give him some of the other guides, right?
Yeah.
And then he can just fabricate more.
Right.
But then would he fabricate all of them? Who's wrong here?
That's what once Mike has the head and he tears it apart, he'll be able to look at the other guides to see if they're starting to fail.
Okay.
Which obviously is what the case would be if it was improper installation of the guides or crappy guides or whatever. Again, I don't think that's the case.
You just think it's shitty rocker arms.
I believe that we were sold rocker arms that are not OEM quality LS3 rocker arms. And I mean, this happened within 100 miles. Like, I've barely driven the car, and I started up, and the engine's already warm. There's no extra resistance or anything. Started up, and then boom, it snapped. I'm right there at that. We got crappy rocker arms, and Mike's going to help us out, and hopefully we're going to get this thing done in time.
Real quick, I don't think I've even told anybody what the fuck done in time means. They just think this is a build, and we thought maybe end of February, early March would be done. And to be perfectly honest, we're pretty fucking nailing this as far as being on schedule. We're killing ourselves. We are booked in the St. Patty's Day Parade in Columbus, Ohio, but then we have $3,000 worth of fucking gigs throughout the time that I fly back with my family. And deposits have already been put down, and it's not even the money, to be perfectly honest. These restaurants and these bars have advertised this. They have people coming to this. This has been on the radio. This is not, it's more about our reputation more than anything. That's what Mike. There's the swig. There's the. And then, of course, Mayor Goldie Wilson is flying out 2 weeks from Saturday to do the quarter-mile race to get the record. So, again, if this was just whenever you're done, this would have been like, that sucks. Fuck. How much money is it going to be? Well, Money is not the issue at the moment. It's an issue, especially considering how much was spent to make sure this was top shelf all the way. That's the part that's making my fucking head spin. I mean, that's the thing that's killing me. But, all that aside, your machine guy, anything I can do to make that go 2 days instead of 5 days?
He will bend over backwards for me. So
Okay.
anything he can do to make it happen as fast as possible, he's going to do.
Okay, and I don't understand. Let me ask you real quick. I'm not quite sure what you mean. What has to be machined? There's broken pieces. You've replaced the pieces. You're done. What am I missing?
So every valve has a valve guide that's pressed into the head, and it also has a valve seat.
Right.
They're all machined together. They only work as, you can't take valves out of one head and put them in another head and expect them to seal. They won't. There's no gaskets. It's machine surfaces. It has to be perfect.
Perfect.
So what happens is you get a new valve. It's just a blank. It hasn't been cut yet. So Mike has to cut it, make sure it seals perfectly. And then on top of that, we got to press new guides in. And with your heads, the magical part that makes all the power is that they are fully CNC ported. And they do that after they put the guides in. So the machining that they did to cut out the hole, include the guide sticks out in there. It cuts that as well. So not only do we have to get the guides put in the head, but he has to machine them so that they fit perfectly.
But if the valve and the guide people tomorrow morning say, "Hey, we got it," and they overnight it, why do we have to do any of that?
Well, because it's still a blank. They just happen to have what they use to make them. They have their blanks. They don't have the machine version of it.
I mean, this could have been a $10,000 mistake, and we blame the rocker people that sold us something that was not what they told us it was. I mean, this is a lawsuit. This could kill somebody. I mean, this is fucked up. Especially, we're talking, Jesus Christ, you haven't gone 80 miles, 60, 70 miles. I mean, what the fuck? And you have a rev limiter on it. Like, you can show them the computer logs. You clearly weren't running this too much. Right?
Right. And even if I was, it's supposed to handle, they're supposed to take the abuse. That's what they're designed to do. Corvettes rev to 7,000, 7,500 RPM all the time. So I showed in the video that I sent you how thin the material was. And if you could see it in person, it's very porous, too. It's supposed to be stamped steel, and it is clearly cast. Which is why it broke. They can't handle those valve springs.
And you don't ever see that. You're not taking that shit apart when you put it together. You just get the piece and you put it in.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to cut off or break a new rocker and have to see what it's made of.
Right. And I just didn't realize if you see each rocker and each guide and each valve, that's just a piece that you put over top of the cams. Okay.
I'm going to have more information on Mike tomorrow. If they don't have guides, maybe miraculous, because he does a lot of high performance LS stuff. If he's got anything in stock, that'll be a miracle.
Well, that's the other thing. Can we just temporarily for a fucking week put different guides and valves in there?
No, those heads are made for those guides and those valves. They're bigger, so if you put normal stuff in it, it won't even begin to do anything.
All right.
And the only other set of cylinder heads that I had got sold last Sunday. So I can't even just throw another set of heads on it, call it a day, and then put those ones back on and get them fixed.
Right, but could we not just get a set of cylinder heads? How much? I mean, we're just talking about a temporary fix while all this other shit's going on.
Yeah, but I mean, another set of heads is $1,600.
Okay, but will we get the fucking $1,600 back afterwards?
No, absolutely not. People don't let you just use cylinder heads. You can't fire the motor and put it. I mean, it's just like buying an engine. You don't get your money back when you buy a new engine.
Okay, well, I mean, when I'm talking about $3,000 of lost gigs, I mean, you see what I'm saying here. I can't waste an entire all this stuff. Fucking Goldie Wilson flying out, my family drive flying out, all this shit happening. We have to make something happen somehow. Right. And if it's money, it's fucking money at this point. I can't lose the whole week.
Right. Tomorrow is going to be the determining day for all of that.
All right. Well, that's what I meant. You know, I want a plan B. I don't want to do the plan B. I don't want to pay $5,000. But I mean, at some point, we're going to have to start thinking more creatively as to how to pull something off in a quick amount of time.
Right.